Ralph Bagnall here for Microjig, and in this video I'm going to show you how to use the Dado stop to make perfectly fitted half-lap joints in a couple of minutes with no measuring and no marking. And I'll also show you a pro tip on how to use the Dado stop to calibrate your rip fence scale. A piece of scrap is clamped to the miter gauge and cut off. This exactly marks the far side of the kerf. With the saw unplugged, the Dado stop is attached to the rip fence using one of Microjig's dovetail clamps. Adjust the rip fence until the number 1 leg in the center of the Dado stop is just touching the left side of the teeth at the front of the blade. Now the number 2 leg on the back side of the Dado stop is adjusted until it's touching the cut-off end of the scrap clamped to the miter gauge. The Dado stop is exactly 3 inches long, so while you have it set just touching the blade, take a minute and adjust the indicator on your rip fence scale to exactly 3 inches, and it will now read accurately for this particular blade. Move the rip fence back so you have some room to work. Now set a square across the back edge of the Dado stop aligned with the number 2 leg that set the kerf. A piece of the stock that will be fitted into the half lap is set to the inside of the square, and the number 3 leg is adjusted until it's touching this piece. The Dado stop is now set up to cut perfectly fitted half laps. The simplest and most accurate method for setting the blade height for your half lap is to set the blade a little less than half the thickness of the stock and make a test cut. Then flip the stock and make a second cut. Raise the blade a little bit after each test until it just removes all the material on the face of the part, and you're ready to cut your half laps. Set the rip fence to mark the first shoulder of your half lap. In this case, 3.5 inches. 1/2 inch to the first shoulder and 3 inches for the Dado stop. Set your part against the number 1 leg in the center of the Dado stop and make the cut. Next, slide the part over to the number 3 leg, which marks the second shoulder of the half lap. With the shoulders defined, it's just a matter of wasting away the material in between. Once the parts are cut, they fit together very snugly. A perfect fit with no gaps, with no measuring and no marking.
Microjig. Work safer. Work smarter.